Okay, ladies and gents, boys and girls, continuing in our camper themed hacks, because I'm in the middle of repairing one, we have a couple of hacks here. Since it has started raining, we've come inside. Um, these are both related to your window treatments. One is how to make these sheer curtain panels that go, in behind your regular blackout curtains. Um, It's kind of hard to find a sheer curtain panel that's 63, even 30 some inches wide and 14 inches long. So, what you do, if you're so inclined to save some money, is you go to Walmart. Everything's made in China at Walmart. I'm not a big supporter of everything made in China, but when you're working on a budget and about everything you look for that's cheap is made in China, you kind of have to go with what's available. So anyway, this is, as it says, one panel, 84 inches. Well, if you look at the back, it is actually 59 inches wide by 84 high. So this gives you an already sewn pocket for your curtain rod at the top, and it gives you a similar pocket, but which is a lot bigger hem at the bottom. Using that, I was able to make the sheer curtain for two of my windows by cutting the top off uh, about 16 inches, splitting that in half width-wise. So instead of the 59, I had half of that width, and I just hemmed them up, took the bottom, folded it up, hemmed them on this little sewing machine, this old antique Singer here, which works excellent for this kind of work. Um, and then I was able to cut the bottom off and use it for one of the other windows, which is actually the one up front that is behind the sink and near the stove. Um, I'll have enough material left to do this big window here that is on the side of my booth. It'll actually have to be 3 panels because you open the one, you open the other, and there's a split, a section right in the middle. There's also a supporting rod right in the middle. And so because of that reason, and because the 59 won't add up to my 63 wide window, I'm using the 3 panels. But in this one sheer curtain that I purchased, you have enough material to make those 4 windows worth of shears if you just do a little sewing and cutting. So there's that hack. I think it cost me $4.87. So I got the shears for all my windows for $5 and a little bit of sewing and some cutting. Okay, now the next hack. Sometimes your curtains have to be hung on a rod, but then they also have to be stretched on a rod at the bottom. And that's the way my curtain is up near the sink because, number one, the edge of it is near the stove and the wall is slanted. It's sloped inward at the top, which, I don't know if you can see that. This wall here is slanted quite a bit. And I don't have a lower curtain rod. What I have is Velcro. So I guess we actually have 3 hacks here. I have Velcro. I have a little bit of Velcro right here. It's sewn into the curtain also. There's some in the middle. And in the middle, I actually have Velcro behind one panel and also between the panels. And so that, if I did not have that, this curtain would actually hang down and take a foot of my table out of use, or it'd just be a hassle because it'd be constantly in your way. Um, so that's one way to do it, is the Velcro. In a camper, many places, Velcro is your friend. And I apologize for the mess. This is kind of like home remodeling. You have to make it worse before you can make it better. And you see here, this is some of the Velcro I have. You can get this many places. It does have an adhesive back, which is good on the panels and stuff on the walls as long as they're clean. But to do the fabric, you really need to stitch it on, because you get a little bit of heat in the summer, it's just going to come loose, and it's going to get all gooey and everything, and you're going to find it stuck down to your cushion somewhere, and then that glue is going to be on your cushion forever. So there's number two. Number three is the shear itself. In some places, particularly like I was saying up near my sink and my stove, the sheer curtain is wider than your window, but it also needs to be captured at the bottom to prevent it from, as I stated, getting near the flame of your stove. And so, they put a rod at the bottom and a rod at the top, and it is stretched. Well, your crank handle is behind it. It'll be over here somewhere. It's behind it. And so either you have to stretch your shear over the top of it and undo it every time, or you have to cut a hole in this shear and feed your handle through it. Okay, well, I hope you can see this. If you cut a hole in this, it unravels and it shreds. If you can see that, see those little strings and everything, that's what happens when you cut a hole in it. Now this is going to be kind of fun doing this one-handed. So here goes, bear with me. What we're going to do is we're going to take a regular cigarette lighter, and we're going to take an old screwdriver. Okay, not one of your good ones. We're going to take an old one. And we are going to heat this over the flame. We're going to use this to pierce your material, and then you're going to have to heat it several times and go back to the material. But we're going to use this to basically carve out a hole in your material. And when you do this, the heat will seal up the threads, and you will have a hole in your material that will not ever unravel. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then I'll show you the result. Okay guys, here's what I have. If you're using a cigarette lighter and the flame's burning kind of high, as you can see, your screwdriver gets a little sooty and black. If you do this with your propane burner or something that burns cleaner, you won't get this black, and you won't get this black ring. You're not going to really see it though. By the time you push your handle through there and it's covered up by this, you're not really going to see it. The main thing is it won't unravel. It's kind of like when you take, well, it's exactly like when you take your cigarette lighter and burn the ends of your synthetic rope to keep it from unfraying, unraveling. It's exactly the same thing, guys. And I always say guys, okay? No offense to, the females out there. It's just one of those words, I know there's all sorts that fix things and work on things, and that's cool, that's great. So don't take offense. It's just one of those things, buzzword we kind of throw around here. So there's you a couple of hacks. Again, I'm sure as I work on more, we'll come up with some more. We haven't tackled all of the lights outside yet on the exterior of the camper, and we may be doing a total LED conversion to all of the lights out there. I have already done a 110 light bulb conversion, which inside is, simply buying 110 LED screw-in bulbs and changing them. And, everybody can do that. Currently, Lowe's has those light bulbs on sale for about $1.75. Walmart has them for about $2.17. They claim they're a 60-watt equivalent, and they use 9.9 watts. So I am running less than 20 watts for the 120 watt equivalent, and let me tell you, they are every bit as bright. maybe a little more so than what we had in here. They come on instantly. You don't have the power consumption. And so that's on the 110 side. On the 12 volt side, we are still running a 12 volt water pump. We are putting in power converters, inverters. We're putting in power inverters. Um, we have a deep cycle battery, at least one. It's a Trojan 30 XHS, which is what you see in golf carts, floor scrubbers, things like of that nature. We're going to put one of those in. I actually got them for the core charge. They're a little older and they aren't full capacity, but they're load testing pretty good for their size. And for what we are running, we have an old Sony car stereo. We are going to be running, the 12 volt lights inside the interior illumination lights. Um, we do have a 200 watt power inverter that will run our LED TV and our DVD player for a very long time on one of those batteries. But since we have a pair and they are basically identical in the amount of life left in them, if we can't get one to get the capacity out of them we want to, we're going to try to do the lead acid to alum conversion. And since we have one of each and they are identical, they were paired together in a 24 volt application, we know that they both load test identically. We have a pretty good test of one lead acid and one alkaline battery using the powdered alum conversion that you can find on the internet. It will tell you exactly how to clean out your batteries using baking soda and water. It will tell you the formula of how much alum to add to the water to refill your battery, how to charge it. And so, as I said, if we can't get what we think should be a good runtime on one of these huge batteries, we're going to do a conversion on them. If it comes to that, rest assured, we'll have video of it. Thanks, guys, for watching.